Well, Happy New Year.
Yep, Happy New Year, man. Welcome to 50 Ball.
Yep, it's your boy J-Dub.
Yep, it's real.
Looking back, man. So how was your New Year's, man?
That was cool. It's cool to get some extra time off from work.
Yeah.
Got a lot of food, got some cool gifts. Got to play the PS5 a little bit.
Oh,
so, yeah,
PS5
cool,
word?
Yeah, it was cool, man.
Okay.
I like it. I don't know if I told you, but yeah, I got the PS5, so yeah, that's cool.
Nah, man. I know you had the 5. That's some new energy, man. You got that, man.
Man.
Got that new console energy, man. You like it?
Oh, I try to play as much as I can because, we was out of school, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, when school start back up, I don't play as much as I like. So, yeah, I was trying to get it in. So that was cool, man. It was good. Got some good food. It was cold up here. Had a little bit of icy weather. But it was all good.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, man. How was yours?
Icy.
Yep.
I mean, it was a good time, but I was like, I can describe it as icy. Hey, I was doing the same thing LeBron was doing at midnight. He was playing Madden. I was playing Madden. So that's as real as it gets. I feel normal when somebody famous is doing the same thing I do.
Yeah, it's like all something they can be doing. They play Madden.
So I don't feel like if you're a slacker, you're late. It's like, look, famous people are doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So I'm not that far off. That's how I see it. That's how I see it. You know what I'm saying? So.
You see, he got photo shoots. He still can find time to play. So yeah.
Hello. he got a lot of things he could do. So I feel like, yeah, we were both playing Madden. So I feel like you got that in common.
Hey, it just shows you, man, little things can, man, make a man happy. That video game, man, is good, relaxing time. Whether you're a busy, famous man like LeBron or, yeah, we're busy too. We just ain't famous for it. So,
exactly.
It's just cool to have that time.
We'll be though.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, the podcast will get us there. We'll blow up.
Yeah. So, yeah, man. So, what do you want to get started on, man?
Man, I know the hot topic this week was, DeMar Hamlin, what happened in the NFL with during that Bills game to where he, of course, passed out and, fighting for his life. I know you guys heard a lot about that already, but we were kind of going at a different thing, with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharpe. Like, everybody's kind of riding Skip because he kind of had a tone-deaf tweet that he sent out.
Yeah.
And I mean, the tweet was pretty much saying that he was talking about the game. He referenced the game first, the postponement of it, and then he talked about the guy's injury. And a lot of people kind of thought it was tone-deaf. So I just want to see, what's your thoughts on that, considering everything that happened with him and the compassion you had for him, hoping he got better and he was okay, then seeing Skip's tweet a little bit after. What was your initial thoughts on that?
Man, he'll get a lot of hate mail, or hate text. I sound old when I say mail. People don't even mail no more. So people get hate texts,
Oh man, hate tweets.
Hate tweets.
Yeah.
Hate Instagrams, hate reels, Yeah, that's tasteless though. I was thinking that's pretty tasteless. I feel like he's unaware. A player gets a heart attack. That's different than anything we've witnessed watching football. It wasn't just a concussion, which is kind of messed up too, that we kind of don't say anything about concussions.
Yeah.
It's just a concussion, it's fine, let's keep playing. Because we do keep playing. I'll give Skip that. There's been other occasions, but those were concussions.
Yeah.
That's more common.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's, if I said I had a heart attack after playing a pickup, I'm like, what kind of pickup are you playing?
Yeah.
It's that's not supposed to happen to your heart at all.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't think you know how to play basketball. First of all, that's not common. So those that want to aspire to play football, I don't want you to think that's uncommon, but it is possible, obviously. So I saw that tweet immediately. I'm like, it's tasteless. It's definitely you're not aware. So I don't know if it's intentionally or he's just doesn't care. I couldn't tell from the tweet. So I don't what did you think? Did you think it was kind of
I think he did have some care, some compassion, and just to read the tweet out for people who don't know, I know we got it here. It's after Hamlin got hurt and everybody's fearing and hoping that he was still alive, because he wasn't moving, he collapsed.
Yeah.
So moments after that happened, Skip, he tweeted out no doubt the NFL is considering postponing the rest of this game, but how? This late in the season, a game of this magnitude is crucial to the regular season outcome, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. So Skip tried to explain that tweet, saying pretty much that last sentence is a saving grace, saying, which suddenly seems so irrelevant. talking about the outcome of the game and everything. And he's right. The game was irrelevant at that moment. I think he's missing the point, though, of the beginning of that tweet. Like 80% of that tweet is tone deaf.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you don't want to see Grandpa pass out in the kitchen, and you're just, at that moment you're thinking, dang, who's gonna get Grandpa's car? Like, I know that ain't important right now, but who's gonna get his car though? Like, you're gonna talk about that at some point, but at that exact moment ain't the time to do it. So it was tone deaf. And you got a lot of people online saying that people are overreacting. They thought Shannon was overreacting to it because Shannon Sharpe was, he didn't like that. He tweeted that either.
Yeah.
But Skip, dude's obsessed, man. Like he's really obsessed. Like, I know he talks about being obsessed with sports. I mean, that's the reason he said he didn't have kids, because he wanted to focus so much on his career in sports. He didn't want to have kids with his wife.
Yeah.
And he told his wife pretty much she comes second to sports.
Ooh.
And she was fine with that, which of course, I'm not gonna knock their agreement,
But say that out loud.
But that tells you how much, he's obsessed with the sport.
Yeah.
So I think he's so obsessed with sports, he can be a little tone deaf and delusional. Cause that tweet was tone deaf. Like, nobody's thinking about the game. And I know he had his saving grace at the end saying that it's irrelevant. But the fact that you mentioned everything else though is still kind of tone deaf. So that was my thoughts on that, man. I knew he cared and meant well. I know he probably thought he was hoping the guy would get better, but it's still a time and a place to say something. And that wasn't it.
That was your first thought, because like it's like you said, it's like 80%. Hey, look, that's a B in most people's.
Yeah.
Their scales, okay. Like that's a pretty good free throw percentage. So I'm saying, like, so
got the Bucks game on. You got the Bucks game.
The beginning part, like, is you're wondering about the game. Like, well, I mean, it's okay. Let's reach back to people's internal thoughts. It's like, this is late in the season. Yeah, you're right. These two teams are fighting for their positions in the standings. I don't remember who was fighting for which position. I know the Bengals are up there, and
right.
And I know that the Bills are up there. They have two pretty good records. But is that like the first thing he's thinking is, where do these teams go from here? And they may think that, but it's not like, that shouldn't be your priority.
Yeah. Like,
it doesn't matter that much. Like, the season's almost over and they miss a game. Like, teams, like the NFL changes the schedule often. Mm-hmm. They always flex teams out to play a different day, or like a different week. Even for week 18, all the teams didn't even know like what time they played. I think as of that Sunday, I didn't even know what time Dallas played. That's all I care about, is what time Dallas plays. But all the teams were like 2BT. So I'm saying, like, even with this instance, it's even like, who cares less? Because they'll, it's like the biggest concern should be like, is he gonna make it? Because you don't want to say, because what if he doesn't?
Yep.
If he don't make it, you'll say, we just watched someone basically die later.
That's the only concern.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's because he's still in critical condition. And that was not in any of that tweet that he had. Like, we didn't feel that at all. Like, it was minimal. Like, even at the end, I kind of read it as more like condescending, because he's very sarcastic. Yeah. So I don't know if some people even read at the very end of that, would suddenly seem so irrelevant. So I don't know. Did you read that in a kind of a condescending tone, or do you like imagine him being kind of sarcastic about, the importance of the game?
I don't think he was condescending. I think he's just a habitual line stepper. Dude is always towing that line. Like, you seen when him and Shannon Sharpe got in an argument a week or two ago about Tom Brady. He disrespected Shannon Sharpe's career to defend, his stance on Tom Brady. And it's just like, that's your boy. Like, you can have a difference of opinion, but you don't have to talk about his personal career, because that'd be like, Shannon arguing against, Skip with something, and he's saying, well, you ain't half the journalist that Stephen A. Smith is.
Oh, yeah.
And Skip will feel disrespected if Shannon said that, So
it's true, though.
And even if you think it's true, it's just the respect and love that you have for your boy. You say you guys are brothers, you shouldn't say that, especially on national TV in front of the eyes, millions of eyes. Like, the thing is, if you really care for somebody, you shouldn't blatantly and purposely disrespect them in front of millions of people and have them feel a certain type of way. So I think dude's just really that delusional. And to keep it real, I'm a fan of, Skip and all them boys and, Undisputed.
Yeah.
But I think he's kind of at the end of his life cycle.
For real.
Like, I think he's been pushing it. Because you see Shannon's getting fed up with him over the disrespect. Yeah. It's like he don't know when to stop.
Yeah.
Like, again, this is the same dude that told his wife that, hey, and I respect the honesty, but he told his wife that you're going to come second to, sports. You got to be cool with that if you're going to be with me. Which, again, I respect it. But now we're seeing that play out. Like, before he says, man, before he can say, I hope this guy is okay, he's talking about the sport. He's talking about the football game. So dude has a problem, man. I think he's like, I'm not a doctor. I don't know if it's been diagnosed, but he's really like obsessed and compulsive when it comes to sports. Like that line between sports and real life is really blurry for Skip. So that's my thing on it.
That's true. What do you think it could be if you think it's so you're saying like you think he got some kind of mental condition with like related to sports?
Yeah, you get people that are attached to things, there's so many like different type of mental things out there, or mental illness. And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm guessing, but it's whatever. He talks about everything, so I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah.
So it's real though. There's so many different mental things out there. You see people cling on to things, It's like remember Ed and Eddie? Remember what's his name? With Plankton?
Oh yeah.
He got attached to his friend Plankton, the board.
Yeah.
He drew a smiley face on him. He's attached to that.
Oh, wow.
Or you see guys that get like attached to like movies or something like that. Like they might rewind movies over and over, or they might get attached to like a celebrity. Like sometimes when people have things going on, they get so attached to that one thing, they can't let it go. And I feel like that thing for Skip is sports.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not diagnosing this man. I don't know if he has autism, nothing like that. I don't know. I can't say that. But I do think it's something to where something in his head has him so connected and obsessed with sports, he loses track of. He loses the tone of the room.
Yeah.
He loses track of reality.
Well, and it's worse because he's stubborn with it. Because then like he'll tell him like, hey, you should just take this down. He's like, no, like I stand by it. I'm like, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, you so hard headed that you can't take down something like that. Because it's just, and then even within the first minute, right? So like Shannon tries to give like a monologue usually like in Undisputed just to say whatever, blah blah blah, open it up, and he wasn't even gonna say like anything bad or address all the rumors, but then Skip kind of like stroking the flames again, like he like interrupted him, like he was gonna talk bad about him, and he didn't, and then he ended up being upset. He's like, it's like I can't do it, you man. It's like I'm really trying to just move on, because Shannon tries to take it more like a classy approach about it. Like he didn't even address all the reasons why he wasn't there. It's like he didn't say like, oh, I didn't come here because you said the tweet, but people could probably guess that why he didn't come in because of that tweet, or because how he felt about that, But Skip kind of like stroking the flames a little bit. Motives could always be questionable. Like would someone go so far just for just to tweet something like that for followers, for attention? I feel like he's too old to be doing that because he's already on Undisputed. I feel like he don't need to be fighting for that much attention. Yeah. But I don't know, where do you think his motives lie? Like, what would make him tweet that? Like, want to just tweet that out?
I just think he's compulsive. Like, I think he's past like trying to get something for clicks and attention. Like, I honestly don't think that's his intention.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't think that's his intention. Of course, it led to a lot of clicks and mentions.
Yeah.
I honestly just think he's a little clueless when it comes to things. Like, some people are just like that. It's almost like some people just cannot read the room. There's a time and place for everything. It's almost like you're going to go take like an SAT or something like that.
Yeah. You're
focused. You're thinking of all your studies. You stayed up all night studying. You're not thinking about going out with your boys and at the club. Like, some dudes are thinking, you might walk in there with your friend and it's like, okay, you ready for the SAT? Like, we've been studying all night. Let's get ready to take it. And he's talking about something like, hey, man, you ready to play Call of Duty? Like, man, last time Call of Duty, man, how'd you die on Warzone? Like, he's so drawn to the video game, he ain't just thinking like, hey, get your head off the video game. We need to focus on the SAT right here. We'll play video games afterwards, but now ain't the time for it.
Yeah.
But he's thinking like, man, I don't know how you died yesterday in Warzone. You still should have made that, but I'm focused on the SAT. I'm ready for the SAT. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. You should have been focusing on Call of Duty yesterday. It's just like, I think Skip's one of them dudes, dude. He's just so compulsive. I don't even think he realized what he's doing.
Well, I think he like what I think is kind of puts this topic in the full circle is his tweet is a representation of a lot of other people out there that thought like him and just didn't have the biggest platform that he does, and then obviously famous. So his tweet carries weight, because he's famous and well known and he's on the show. But most people like maybe not have gotten that much attention. But obviously there's I think more than I don't know what the percentages are versus like who cared or who cared more than other. But I think the majority had sympathy in that moment than people that was more worried about like why I want my money back, right, people talking like that, that's now that now they start to sound like Skip, what I mean? Like we start thinking about things like who cares, you pay for the ticket, like I don't know if it was in Buffalo or Cincinnati, I forget which city that is, but fans that go there, that's the last thing that you should be caring about is how much your ticket was. You don't risk me go to all these games anyway. Right. You're here to be entertained for 2-3 hours, mostly 3-hour game, and someone that you paid to watch is in critical condition, and that's more valiant, and that's life. Like you have to football players are humans too. Yeah. They I think some fans they just see him as just some entertainers that should just go through the wall and just life moves on. But that's a big moment to show hey, it's just a game. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. That moment, it's just a game. It's okay to be passionate and stuff and crazy as long as you don't go to jail, whatever. But hey, as long as you within your lines, it's okay to be passionate, right? Yeah. But it's beyond that where you start, you kind of put your team or your love of the game over just human. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's when I think you kind of get a little too far on that,
That's what he did with Shannon, though, when he disrespected Shannon, because they're arguing about Brady, and he gonna tell Shannon, well, you're just jealous that you didn't play as good until your late 30s, because you was a football player, but you didn't look as good as Brady. And it was why would you even say that to your boy?
That's messed up.
It's apples and oranges. Man's a tight end, he's a quarterback. He's protected. This guy, ain't nobody protecting him. He gotta run through dudes or juke them. Yeah. So you're talking about two different positions. It's apples and oranges comparison. So, but again, he doesn't know when to turn that switch off, and he disrespected his friend on TV. And he might have thought it was harmless, but he don't realize everybody else don't think that.
Yeah, that's soft. That's soft move. It's just your homie. It's hey, if any of y'all got siblings or family, you know more about them than anybody else outside your family circle. So imagine you get an argument and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Whoever it is you be arguing with all the time, the one that be talkative, the one that talk back a little bit. But everything that could hurt them. And that's usually love. Anyone that you love, you usually know a lot more than you probably should. Yeah. What they allow you to know about them. But the hardest thing you tell them, a low blow, and only you know what that is. You know what that low blow is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to stay within that line. You know what I'm saying? You don't do a Skip and try to say something that would definitely hurt you.
Yeah, no.
Going to now, there's a lot of things that are above board that you could use. I do that. I use the things that are definitely something that's there's so many ways that you can get your sibling real good that I highly encourage. Because I'm the youngest. I'm a lot of older siblings can be highly irritating. You know what I'm saying? But there's that line that you don't cross just out of respect for each other. And that's that debate. Because that's what they do, right? They debate. But when you debate, you got to stay within that line. Yeah. And he constantly, like you said, line stepper, or he be stepping off a lot. He stay stepping off, and you just don't do that.
No, man. So yeah, that's the problem. That's the problem. They don't have to turn it off. Especially considering Shannon had a brother. His career was kind of cut short by injuries. Yeah. So you're gonna tell this man he didn't play as good until his late years as Brady. You just like you said, you're cutting deep hit below the belt. It's not worth that.
And who is he though? I mean, I'm saying like the one that be saying it'd be like why would you know? And I only think that he would be hurt because they're like brothers probably, and they're like really close, probably off air.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why. I mean, I feel like if they won't, I feel like why would you let someone like Skip even hurt your own feelings? Because he has no way to say who's doing better in their own career.
Man, and that's the thing. It's not like necessarily what he said. It's the fact that it came from you. It's not exactly what was said. Like, had somebody else said that, he would have shook it off. Like you said, the fact that he got love for him like a brother, and he's thinking this coming from you, like, you know. So
you gotta say it like that. It's like, yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm like, hey, this New Year's Skip New Year's resolution needs to be drawing a more bold line between his love of sports and reality. Just knowing when to turn that off. Like his tweet, he probably didn't mean no harm by it, but the fact that 80% of that tweet was talking about the game and this and that, you need to know how to, again, bold the lines up a little bit so you don't cross them. Like, don't even mention it. Like, nobody wants to hear that. When you worry about somebody's life, you're not thinking of something meaningless like a game. You know, the game can always be played. You know, when these players get old and, you know, they pass on, it'll be other young players that come in and take their place. But yeah, a life is a life. Like, you know, life is irreplaceable. You know, like, this man, you know, you hoping the best for him. You don't want to hear about this game. That's the last thing you're thinking about. So it's like not worth mentioning. So I don't think he realized that. So his New Year's resolution needs to be when to talk sports and when to keep his mouth shut or talk about life. Like, that's it.
Better off just saying nothing.
Yeah.
He's people like him just saying, if you just suck at saying, obviously he's just, you know, he sucks at saying the right thing in the moment. Just don't say nothing. You know, I think that should go along with those kind of resolutions that we hope. This kind of segment we kind of go on is like what kind of resolutions we would have for, you know, either like a team or a player or like a celebrity, you know, and then so Rio touched on one for sure, like, and that's perfect for Skip, man. Like, you gotta calm that way down. Look, as life is fragile, so are careers. So I'm just saying, like, there's so much, you know, things that corporate can take. They can take a lot.
Yeah.
Obviously, he can take a lot. Skip says a lot of things, like, and he's still employed. So it's you know, if it starts getting a little more on the sensitive tip, you know, I'm just saying, man, careers can be cut short for a lot less.
Yeah, it's the end of that life cycle. But no, speaking of resolutions, man, what's some resolutions you had for, like, you know, yourself or teams, you know, that you're watching, you know, sports, whatever the case?
Man, definitely one, man, like, I had so many, but I think one of them is the Lakers. I would hope that their New Year's resolution is to get back on the track of winning on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
Like find those ingredients that got you back.
Yeah.
You know, your batch is messed up. You know, so you gotta, you know, you went to Heaven Sent Chicken. Y'all may not know if y'all not in the area, okay? But you know, if you ever had Ezel's and Heaven Sent, you know, Ezel's was the first, and then Heaven Sent is the party that broke off. You know, so the original chicken was Ezel's, but since Ezel's broke off and had his own chicken place, he took that recipe with him. He's the original. That's the success. It's having the original recipe, man. And when it's not the same, it's not the same. You know what I mean? Like, Ezel's is still good, mind you, though. It's still good, you know what I'm saying? But it's not the same as Heaven Sent, because he still has the recipe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So as the Lakers, they once had the recipe for success, and then they try to switch it up a little bit, and now it don't taste the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It may taste good sometimes, you know, like the man that doesn't know how to cook, but it's like it tastes good sometimes. You remember like when I first started to try to cook in the 7th grade, and I tried to make some cookies, and like some of them taste good and some of them didn't taste good.
Some crispy,
yeah, you know, kind of iffy because you don't know what you're doing. And I know what I was doing. I was like, but that's what definitely one of mine, man. Definitely the Lakers. Get back on that winning track. What about you?
Yeah, if I had one, actually going back to the Lakers, AD needs to, once he comes back, he needs to at least try to play 80% of the remaining games he has.
Man, that's good.
That, you know, be available. You know, availability is the best ability. So, and other than that, as far as something else in sports, maybe See if, you know, the Grizzlies can get that Western Conference record up a little bit. Because right now, I think they're one game above 500, you know, versus Western Conference teams. They did all that talking. So, you know, I want to see if they have the resolution of winning more games against their conference rivals, you know. Because if you're not worried about anybody in the West, you should be beating them. You know, not you guys breaking even, you know, so. Yeah, other than that, no. As far as the personal one, it's hoping to record more, you know, get more episodes out there.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Second that. Definitely some more. I think like as we grow, I feel like our listeners grow with us because you guys are watching, you guys supporting us. We always so thankful for that. So I think that I would second that. You know, that we all want us to really take this to the next step and grow together. And that's probably putting more episodes of content and things like that. And I think as we do, I think we're kind of like telling our own story. You know, like it's like each time we come out here, we telling you guys a story that is different than the other. And some of them, you know, are planned, and some of them not planned.
Yeah.
Some of the best ones be unplanned. A lot of stories told is not planned at all. You know, but definitely, man. Always the resolution is on your way up. What was the song like on your way up?
All the way up, yeah.
All the way up, you know, all the way up. So that's definitely big ups. It's always climbing that ladder, man. That's what we're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, cool, man. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for watching 50 Ball. Happy 2023. Happy New Year. You know, holiday season's over. It's time to get it. And yeah, check us out, man. Find us on all your podcasts, you know, apps or wherever you get your podcasts from.
Yeah, follow us, subscribe.
Yep.
Stalk us. Well, you know, maybe not stalk. Let me pick James Burber.
Yes.
Time out.
Yep.
Time out for the referees. I mean, maybe not stalk. But just stick to the regular follow, which I feel like it doesn't sound that good after stalk for some reason.
Yeah, stalk the channel. Stalk our channel. Yeah.
Stalk the channel though, but not the live stuff. But yeah, man. We just hope you guys have a good week, and yeah, until next time, we got some more coming for you.
Yep. There we go. Peace.